For what purpose is Representative Chair, well, actually, it's not chair, he's leader. Leader F. Stration rise.
Make a motion.
State your motion, sir.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the House recommit SB 23, SB 29, and SB 587 back to rules.
Mr. Clerk, will you read the caption?
Senate Bill 23 by Senator Albers to be entitled an act to amend Article 7 of Chapter 20 of the Title 47 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated the Public Retirement System Investment Authority Law. Senate Bill 446 by Senator Dixon of the 45th to be entitled an act to amend Chapter 2A of Title 20 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to the Student Scholarship Organizations. SB 587 by Senator Still of the 48th to be entitled an act to amend Article 1 of Chapter 12 of Title 16 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to the general provisions regarding offenses against public health and morals.
We're going to revisit that, Mr. Clerk, if we may. We're going to retract that motion and the reading of the captions. I'm going to recognize Leader F. Stration for a singular motion on one bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that Senate Bill 23 be recommitted to the Rules Committee.
Mr. Clerk, would you read the caption to Senate Bill 23?
Senate Bill 23 by Senator Albers, the 56th to be entitled an act to amend Article 7 of Chapter 20 of Title 47 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated the Public Retirement Systems Investment Authority Law.
On the gentleman's motion that Senate Bill 23 be withdrawn from the calendar and recommitted to the Rules Committee, is there objection? Hearing none is so ordered. Majority Leader is recognized for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that Senate Bill 29 be recommitted to the Rules Committee.
Mr. Clerk, will you read the caption?
Senate Bill 29 by Senator Williams, the 25th to be entitled an act to amend Article 6A, Chapter 3 of Title 35 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to DNA sampling.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. On the gentleman's motion that Senate Bill 29 be withdrawn from the calendar and recommitted to the Rules Committee, is there objection? Hearing none is so ordered. Leader is recognized for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that Senate Bill 587 be recommitted to the Rules Committee.
Mr. Clerk, will you read the caption?
Senate Bill 587 by Senator Still of the 48th to be entitled an act to amend Article 1 of Chapter 12 of Title 16 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to general provisions regarding offenses against public health and morals.
On the gentleman's motion that Senate Bill 587 be withdrawn from the calendar and recommitted to the Rules Committee, is there objection? Hearing none is so ordered. Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Members, if you'll come to the floor, we're going to take up a rules calendar. Chair Lady Smith, are you ready for Senate Bill 478? She is. Mr. Clerk, will you read the caption to Senate Bill 478?
Senate Bill 478 by Senator Watson, the 11th, and others to be entitled an act to amend Chapter 6A, Title 12 of the official code of Georgia annotated relating to outdoor stewardship so as to provide for a sunset. This bill having referred to the Committee on Natural Resources and Environment, that committee recommends that this bill do pass by committee substitute.
Chair Lady Lynn Smith is recognized to speak to Senate Bill 478 and make some explanation. Ladies recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members of the House. This is a phenomenal bill that I'm presenting to you today. It has a wonderful history of conserving our state of Georgia with all of these projects and land that we don't want to see used elsewhere. The concept began in the early 1990s, when I was chair of the Natural Resources in 2005. It was gaining strength with the idea. The idea is to increase shares of existing sales and use tax revenue for sporting goods around the state, and then to use it for conservation. The most recent way to look at this is it was part of the resources that used the state of Georgia to acquire some of the land around the Okefenokee. These issues have to be of regional impact. There's a trigger to lower the expenditures if the economy has a downturn, but we are using this, and it's been very successful in protecting the natural resources of Georgia, and it's also been a resource for our Georgia citizens to enjoy different activities. To tell you how important it was to your citizens, it passed by 83% when it was a constitutional amendment. Mr. Speaker, stand for questions.
Lady has no questions.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
We do have a speaker on the bill, Representative Wilkerson, recognized for up to 10 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today I rise in support of Senate Bill 478. You know, as I was coming here today, I had this really big meeting with all of our county folks about local stuff, and that doesn't, matter as much, but we had a conversation and we talked about the great work that we do, and I saw 478. The great thing about 478 that the chapter will remain in effect until 2039. What that means is for the next 13 years, this will be very important for us. And so I just want to say that Senate Bill 478 that came through Natural Resource and Environment is a very important bill, and I'm appreciative of us doing this. So when I have my next meeting with our local folks about local activities that this legislature is going to deal with, I'm going to say that we do things like 478, and I honestly say that, in the next 8 minutes, I just want to say that I thank this chamber for the work that we've done with stewardship, because outdoors, I know my friend likes to joke with me that as a gentleman farmer from Cobb County, but, I'm not necessarily a farmer, but we do own farmland, and so when we go up to Illinois, where my wife's family's from, they do corn, wheat, and bean farmers, and they do some really good work because it's in the being in the outdoors is nothing like it. And so I just want to say thank you to the Natural Resources Committee for this work. And I will yield any questions if there are any. Otherwise, I will look forward to voting positively in favor of Senate Bill 478, which I do believe cleared the Senate unanimously. If it did not, I apologize for that, but I'm pretty sure it did. But thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I will yield the well. Thank you.
Gentleman's yielded well. Thanks for your comments. Doing some great projects around our state with these resources. Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered? Hearing none, the previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to adopting the committee substitute? Hearing none, the committee substitute is adopted. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bill? Hearing none, the report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this bill now pass? All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote yes. All those opposed will vote no. And the clerk will unlock the machine. Have all members voted? For what purpose does Representative Wade rise?
Parliamentary inquiry, Mr. Speaker.
State your inquiry.
Mr. Speaker, I think you've got some family friends here today, and I think it is true. I was not here, so I need verification. Is it not true that you, sir, were the person that led the effort on this legislation possibly a decade ago?
Well, I was a part of that team. Thank you for that.
Appreciate you doing that, sir.
Along with a dear friend and a champion for good fiscal policy in Georgia, Senator Jack Hill, who put some good metrics in that original bill that still have served us well today. Thank you for that. Have all members now voted? All members voted. If so, Mr. Clerk will lock the machine. On the passage of Senate Bill 478, the yeas are 163, the nays are 2. This bill, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore passed. Mr. Clerk, will you read the caption of Senate Bill 146?
Senate Bill 146 by Senator Williams, the 25th and others to be entitled an act to amend Title 31, 36, and 44 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to health, local government, and property, respectively, so as to provide regulations and protections of cemeteries and burial grounds. This bill having referred to the Committee on Regulated Industries, that committee recommends that this bill do pass.
Representative Jesse Petrie is recognized to present Senate Bill 146. 146. The gentleman is recognized. Gentleman is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, this is SB 146 by Senator Rick Williams. As most of you are aware, a funeral director from Middle Georgia. This bill is really a measure that really improves the process for a multitude of issues that relate to cemeteries. And I'll tell you a little story. It was interesting to me. I called Rick a year ago to get advice on an issue where a cemetery from long in my ancestry, Mr. Speaker, Burke County, Georgia, where many of my ancestors are, there was an old cemetery that had been a church and had long been abandoned, but the family still visited it. It was purchased by a private landowner who then disallowed any family members to visit that location. And when I asked him about how we handled that, he said, guess what? I'm working on this. I've actually had other individuals in the community which have similar situations, and I'm working on this. So, my friends, here's what you have. In Section 1-2, you deal with disinterment permits, which are currently handled by the Department of Public Health. They will continue to be. What this measure does is simply improve the process and the process for including descendants to make this a better process. It also requires a court order authorizing disinterment. So you'll see through the breadth of this bill, it's making this measure more appropriate for the descendants and more respectful to cemeteries. In section 1 through 4, you deal with disturbance permits by local jurisdictions. It ensures that you have public hearings and so forth, and much along the lines of notice given to descendants of individuals in these cemeteries. Section 2-1 improves the process of establishing private cemeteries on your private property. We have the ability to do that today. It's done usually through local jurisdictions. This creates some uniform minimum requirements to doing that. You'll see as you read through there, it requires a ½ acre, and of course it has to be deeded for that purpose. Still allows that completely, but creates a better path to do so. And then finally, in 3-1, it deals with the rights of descendants to access land. Going back to the issue I addressed earlier with some family that I have in Burke County, this really addresses that issue I had called him about, where there's a process through your local Superior Court judge to ensure that family members and descendants are able to see their past family members in any cemetery in this state. Mr. Speaker, that's a quick summary of a very detailed bill. I'm glad to answer any questions.
The gentleman has no questions.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield the well.
The gentleman has yielded the well. Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered? Hearing none, the previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bill? Hearing none, the report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this bill now pass? All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote yes. All those opposed will vote no, and the clerk will unlock the machine. Have all members voted? All members voted. If so, Mr. Clerk will lock the machine. On the passage of Senate Bill 146, the yeas are 163, the nays are 2. This bill has received the requisite constitutional majority, or is therefore passed. Members, we're going to take a break for lunch, so this House will stand in recess. Is there any announcements? No announcements. This House will stand in recess until 1 p.m. sharp. Well, there is an announcement. Chairman Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sorry to slow everybody down, but we are going to ask the House Higher Education Committee to come down at recess for our committee picture.
1 p.m. sharp. I'll be here early. House will stand in recess.